Hey everyone, welcome back. So today is Friday. Today is Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you guys. I hope you guys are having a great time with your families. I hope you guys are getting everything that you wanted for Christmas. But I wanted to talk to you guys about just two things. One is Marathon's latest release that they're buying a bunch of the latest Antminers. And then I want to talk to you guys about Hive. About also in the previous video, I talked about how they are possibly going to be selling some of their miners. And I did some basically back of the napkin calculations here on it to see what they could actually sell them for, how much they could get for them, and what if they bought the latest Antminers? What would the differences basically be? So let's get into first Bitcoin, and we'll look at the miners, and then we'll get into the news as well. So Bitcoin right now is at 51,212. We are having a nice recovery here. I don't know if it's going to be a false recovery, but we're having a recovery nonetheless. We'll have to obviously monitor it going forward, but as we can see here, the 20-day moving average, the red line here, is about to cross over back over on the 200-day moving average, which is really good. This could be a good sign that we are finally coming back out of it. My concern was that we may fall back down, but we'll have to see how this plays out. Right now, we are above it, which is good to see. I'd like to see us get up to maybe closer to the 52,000 range and possibly above the 50-day moving average here, which is at 52,700. If we could get above that, I think that would be a good sign that we are continuing to go back up. Right now, we'll have to monitor, obviously, how Bitcoin does, but right now it's looking pretty good. If we look at the 1-hour chart on Bitcoin, we can see that we are kind of in this basically accumulation phase here. RSI is going down, but we're still, holding the line here as far as price is concerned. So that's a good sign to me. That always means that we are possibly going to be able to go up higher, especially with the RSI going down and the price is staying the same. So that's good right there. Let's take a look at really quick Ethereum. Here's Ethereum. So Ethereum is right now trading above the, 20-day moving average, and it's battling with the 50-day moving average, which is good. We are at $4,105. We want to obviously see this go above the 50-day moving average, and then I think we might be able to go up higher, but we'll have to monitor it as well. As long as we stay above our support here at 3,950, I think we'll be in good shape. And shouldn't see a crash going down further. So let's take a look at the miners here really quick, how they ended up the day yesterday, which was Thursday. So DMG was up nicely, 9.84% to 72 cents. Riot was up to 25.67. It was up 8.68%, which was good to see. We've had a couple of good days here on Riot. Mawson was up 11.89%, which was up to $8.09. And we've seen Mawson have a good week there, kind of traded sideways a little bit, and then we had a nice bounce yesterday as well on it, so that's good to see. Mara was up huge because of the news that they are obviously increasing their miners to, we'll talk about it, to 23 point some exahash. They were up 11.72% to 38.13. And then we have Hut 8. Hut 8 has had, a couple of days here, looks like 4 days of gains, which is good. They were up 7.49% to 875. DigiHost was up as well to 486. They were up 6.81%, and they've had 4 days of gains. So basically, this whole week has been green for them, which is good to see. Also, they went above the 20-day moving average, which is good. Hive was up as well, 7.37%. They've had a nice week as well of gains here. They are looking to get back above their 200-day, 100-day, 50-day, and obviously they're going to be crossing the 20-day here possibly next week if things go well. CleanSpark was up 5.77% to 1191. They've had a mixed week here, 2 days down, 2 days up. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one, see how this one plays out. And then Bitfarms was up 13.73%, so they were up the most. They've obviously had a nice week up here. They've obviously crossed over their 200-day moving average, and now are going to be contending with the 100-day and 50-day and 20-day averages. So that's how the miners stacked up. So obviously Bitfarms did the best yesterday at 13.73% up. So let's take a look at my numbers here that I have for them all. I believe it is going to be right here. All right. Oh, actually, let's go to the news story here. So Marathon Digital Holdings Bitcoin mining fleet to reach 23.3 exahash after latest purchase of Bitmain Antminer S19 XPs. They didn't provide exactly how many they're going to be buying, but based on the information that I do have, I was able to kind of calculate how much I think they're going to be buying based on that. So Marathon's total mining fleet expected to consist of approximately 199,000 Bitcoin miners producing approximately 23.3 exahash by early 2023. One of the largest enterprise Bitcoin self-mining companies in North America has entered into a contract with Bitmain to purchase a record number of Antminer S19 XPs. These are the 140 terahash Bitcoin miners. Based on current delivery schedules, Marathon anticipates all newly purchased miners to ship from Bitmain between July 2022 and December 2022. In conjunction with this purchase, Marathon will be upgrading a portion of its mining fleet with the latest mining hardware to increase the overall efficiency of the company's operations. As a result, the company's mining operations are now expected to consist of approximately 199,000 Bitcoin miners producing approximately 23.3 exahash, making Marathon one of the largest publicly traded Bitcoin miners in the world once all the miners are fully deployed and operational. So they will be upgrading a portion of its mining fleet. I don't know which portion they're going to be upgrading because right now, if I look at the numbers here, we'll take a look at the numbers really quick. Here's what I got them at. So these are the new miners that they basically provided. So this, I have them going over 6 months. So this gets them up to this would be like almost 66,600 miners being purchased to get them up to the 199,000 miners that they are going to have. I'm guessing that possibly, I don't know which miners they're going to be getting rid of, but they don't have a lot here. I mean, they only have 700 of the 80 terahash, or well, maybe 1,400 of the 80 terahash. Everything else is pretty good except for, the 100,000 or 100,000 terahash, or 100 terahash basically miners here, but those are still relatively very efficient. So I don't know which miners are going to be swapping out, but maybe they aren't swapping out any miners. They're just saying that they might be swapping some out. So possibly these might be going out of here eventually next year. So we'll keep an eye on those. So based on all this information, I do have them at basically 199,000, 12 miners total, and I do have them at 23.343 exahash, which is a huge increase, obviously, from where they were just a couple of days ago. So if we look at the numbers here now, based on that information, so we have future hash rate of 23.34, current hash rate is at 3.934. They are now basically, based on the latest information provided, they're buying that many miners. They are now at 16.85% operational, or not operational capacity, but install base, basically. How many miners are installed based on future orders. So they're only at 16.85%. Number of miners that are currently installed is 38,000. So obviously 38,000 compared to 199,000 is still a ways to go. And now I have their hash miner average is basically 103 terahash, which is really good. So they're way up there as far as efficiency goes. So if we compare them to the other guys here now, let's take a look at miner comparison. If we look at the hash rate here, just on these guys, so current hash rate, future hash rate, so if we go by percent of operational, sort of ascending, we got obviously Marathon with the most, I think, upside right now for future orders. Let me see if I can zoom this in for you guys maybe a little bit more. Let's go to 200. There we go. So they are at 16.85% install base, basically from future orders. Then you would have DMG, but you also have future hash rate of 1.5 exahash compared to 23.3 exahash. So they're obviously the leaders here. And then Riot would be the next one down, which would be at 9 exahash. And on average miner hash rate, let's see. So right now, I think with their latest purchase, yeah, they're going to be the most efficient here. If we look at by hash rate per miner average, sort of ascending, sort of descending. Descending, so Marathon, Riot, CleanSpark, those are your most efficient miners right now. Riot is obviously a close second. Obviously, Riot, with them installing a lot of their miners into the immersion cooling, they may actually be, we'll see how that plays out, but I think they might be either very close to where Marathon is as far as miners hash rate average, or they might be a little bit better because of the immersion cooling, which would give them a 20 to 25% possibly boost. So something to be mindful of. CleanSpark obviously is top 3, and then you got Mawson, followed by DMG, DigiHost, Hive, Bitfarms, Hot 8, and Argo. And obviously, if Hive sells a portion of their miners, which we're going to talk about next, that may increase their speed going forward as far as efficiency goes, or average speed for efficiency. But yeah, otherwise for Marathon, great news for them. Obviously, a couple concerns are, one, do they have enough infrastructure to put all these miners in? That's a huge order, 66,000 on top of what they already have. So North Compute, I think, is the one that's doing all the hardware installs and infrastructure build-outs and things like that. So hopefully they have enough space for all these miners, because that would be a big concern. It's also going to draw a lot of electricity, obviously, so they need power hookups. Do they have those? So those are types of things I would want to see or hear from them as far as, do they have that already in place? So great news by Marathon. I think this is great for the shareholders, obviously. Puts them as top one that I cover, at least right now. So we'll see. All right, so now on to Hive. So Hive provided investor relations update earlier this week. I did a video on it yesterday called the Hive update. In that they said that they are getting to 3 exahash by the end of next year, and the only way they could do that was probably by getting rid of some of the older miners, or at least the way I figured it out. So let's take a look at the numbers here, and then I did a little back of the napkin calculations to see what they could actually get for those miners if they do sell them. So they reported they're going to be at 3 exahash by the end of next year. Based on that information, if we look at it here, it's basically all of these here minus, I'm subtracting the older miners here, the 68 terahash, the 30 terahash, and the 74 terahash miners here from being excluded from it to get us to the 3 exahash that they're saying they're going to be at next year. Let me zoom this in again. So that's how I came about those numbers. So I'm using these miners here that are selected here to be sold. So if we do a little back of the napkin calculations here, this is what I come up with. We're looking at all of these miners here, the 30 terahash, 74 terahash, 30, 68 terahash. I looked online to see what the potential price was, sell price. I knocked it down a little bit, about 20-30% from the price of what you might be able to sell to retail, because I think they're going to be buying somebody's going to be buying these in bulk possibly. So I give it a discount. So I gave $1,000 for the 30 terahash, $7,000 for the 74 terahash, and $5,000 for the 68 terahash, which would come up with these totals down here. We end up with basically 87.5 million in proceeds from that if they end up selling all those miners. You're selling basically 17,550 miners. And if we look at the electrical draw here, these are the watts per miner roughly. So we're basically using up 49.6 million watts on these miners. If they bought the Antminer S19 XPs on Antminer's website, it says they're 11,620. So I'm just going with that price because if you buy that many miners, the 7,530, you might get a better discount. But that would basically increase their hash rate back up to 1 exahash, or add an extra exahash into their speed for their farm. Basically, it's the same amount that they're currently losing, more or less. Petahash, if we look at it, here's the total petahash that they have right now from these miners. If they swap them out, they'll be back to where they were. But you only have 7,530 miners compared to 17,500 miners. So you have actually room possibly for another 10,000 miners if you have the power to do so. And here's the watt savings. So not only are you saving on space, but you're also saving basically 27 million watts. I guess this would be per day, roughly, right? Because these are, or I don't know how that's, can't remember how that's calculated, but you're saving 27 million watts overall from switching out the miners from the less efficient ones to one of the most efficient miners here. So that would be a huge increase, obviously a huge benefit to them. They would obviously pay less in electricity. About half of what they're paying, but they're also going to be mining about the same. So huge savings there, I think. I don't know if they're going to do this, but this is something that I would definitely look into if I was them. Of doing, obviously, you're getting net proceeds from selling these miners. Might as well buy the most efficient miners and put them back in, and you're back up to now 4 exahash for Bitcoin mining instead of 3 exahash. So I just kind of wanted to go over this a little bit with you guys, just to provide my little 2 cents on it as far as what I would do probably. And then I keep asking them if they are going to be planning on doing any immersion cooling. I haven't heard any response back yet. So we'll see if they respond or if they don't respond. But I think immersion cooling would be a nice added benefit if they could. I doubt they're going to be able to do it next year, Well, maybe next year. You never know. If they do it, you obviously need a facility for it. It's different setup than going with racks with all the miners being installed. That way you actually have to have floor space for the bathtubs, basically, for the miners, the tubs to fill them with the mineral sea oil for the immersion cooling. So it's a different way of doing things. They would have to have a warehouse for it, basically. But that's it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Just want to provide that to you guys. Obviously, miners had a good week. Bitcoin has had a good week. We'll see how Bitcoin continues to go up. And then just wanted to do a little back of the napkin calculation with you guys. Let me know what you guys think of all this. Have a wonderful Christmas if you do celebrate Christmas. If not, have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.